Hello and welcome back to my 1994 SL600. If this is your first video viewing about this car, I encourage you to watch the other videos so that you can get a better idea of whether you would like to bid on this car on Bring a Trailer. Today's video is going to be covering the K1 Spring, what's happening on this car, a little bit of background information about that problem, and a little bit about fixing it. So, the K1 Spring, also called the K1 accumulator or the K1 thrust pin, is an element on the 722.3 transmission that is fitted to many Mercedes-Benz from the 1980s and early 1990s. It is the 4-speed hydraulic transmission, and it was replaced by the 5-speed electronic transmission around 1995. So, the K1 spring is a common cause of an issue that manifests itself as a flare between second and third gear. When you'll be driving along the car normally at partial throttle, the car will attempt to shift up to third gear and you will have a flare where the RPMs will kind of free float in between the gears until it reaches third gear. This problem is caused by this collection of components here, which includes a plastic plunger and a couple of springs. The springs will wear out or the plastic plunger will break, and that will cause the transmission to not properly parse the amount of throttle input and therefore cause the slippage. So the parts that we have here today are a replacement kit for this problem, a new transmission filter, a transmission fan gasket, and what just dropped here is a copper crush washer for the drain plug. You do have to drop the transmission pan for this job, so you may as well go ahead and replace all these other items while you're down there. The other item we have, besides our tools, is this good old bucket, and it has markings in liters so that you can see how much fluid that you actually drained out and you can replace the correct amount. Now, the rated amount is 6 liters in this transmission. However, you'll probably not get all 6 liters out because there will be transmission fluid, kind of stuck around, floating around on the different parts, and so you should replace the amount of transmission fluid that comes out rather than the full amount so that you do not overfill it. I'm going to go ahead and do this job and then record a short video afterwards and attach it to this one so that you can see a little bit about the end result and what those damaged parts look like. Thank you. And we're back. It is a new day. I was much too tired after finishing the job last night in order to shoot the second half of this video, so I waited until this morning. Working on any 600 always presents us with unexpected challenges, and this case was no different, so the job took us a little bit longer than expected to complete. It took about 3.5 hours from start to finish. The car is moving and driving beautifully now. It is always a good sign when you replace something in the transmission and the car still moves, because otherwise you've done a rather poor job. Here is the old transmission fan gasket. As you can see, it looks just fine. There's no cracks, no breaks in it. However, we did already have a new transmission fan gasket, so we elected to use that. We also have the old K1 spring assembly here, and with the old assembly you can see the problem that causes that 2 to 3 upshift flare. The spring has worn out and it is very easy to compress. On the new kit, you have to use both hands and push hard in order to get it to compress at all. This is because Mercedes revised the parts that are used in this kit. The spring is beefier. The secondary spring has fewer coils so that it has less room to compress that spring instead. And this leads to resolving that issue so it will not crop up again after another 20 years and 50,000 miles, because if you use the original, then it would do that again. But the new kit should last a lifetime. Thank you so much for watching this video. I encourage you to watch the other videos on my SL600 to get a better idea if you would like to bid on this car on Bring a Trailer. which I happily encourage you to. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you again in a future video.